want to talk to you about mindfulness. Now, mindfulness has gotten to be a new buzzword for all the how to deal with stress and how to deal with anxiety and how to deal with the unknown and to take control of your reactions to things. Well, the thing about mindfulness that it has been around for a long, long time. It's got its roots in Buddhism, but when I started studying into it, I realized that it also sounded very much like the principles behind the Brahma bodywork training that I took back in 2000 and 2001. So with Brahma, which I learned as part of the bodywork healing work, there's 9 principles, and these 9 principles are very much like what is talked about now in the terms of mindfulness. So these principles have to do with the fact that you have a body. I have a body. It feels things. It has sensations. It's important that the body is comfortable, and it's important to notice when the body is not comfortable so you can make little minor adjustments so that it is. Now, some of the other principles in Brahma were no extra. In other words, do just enough, but you don't have to do more than enough. You're not trying to prove anything. You're not trying to impress. You're just doing what is necessary, and that's enough. It's like there is it's enough. You don't need to do anything more. Another principle in Brahma is gentleness, yet firmness. So this applies, not in the body work, obviously it applies, you don't want to hurt somebody, but you want to be firm enough to do what it is you're trying to accomplish. And the same thing applies in life. It's like you don't want to bowl through something, but you don't want to be so meek that people walk all over you. So it's like that balance again between being assertive enough, speaking up for yourself enough, being in tune with yourself enough so that you can do what you need to do, but not so much that you put people off or you knock them over, or there's that balance point. The other thing about mindfulness and Brahma is the concept of you're fully participating. In other words, you're being in the present moment. You're not thinking about the past, and you're not thinking about the future, what you're going to do, or the person that said whatever they said to you. It's like you're paying attention right now. You're paying attention to what your body's feeling. You're paying attention to the environment around you, the sounds, the light, the darkness, the wind, the smells. You're paying attention to everything that's around you, plus what you're feeling inside. There is a concept about no judgment. So in other words, you approach everything with an open mind and allow the possibilities to be there instead of making a judgment and putting it in a box. Whenever we make a judgment, we put it into a box. And the other concept is that we are mutually supported. So imagine when you're standing on the ground, you are being supported by the earth. And this mutual support is happening all the time. Of course, Brahma bodywork is like assisted yoga. So it's like, the recipient's body is supporting the client's body, and the practitioner, and the practitioner is able to use the client's body to work with each other and kind of balance and push off of each other in a very gentle sort of a dance. Well, the same principle applies here in life. It's like I am here for you, to support you, and at the same time, by you being you, are supporting me in me supporting you. So it's like it's going back and forth and back and forth. It's like, where does it end? Where does it start? So we are all mutually supporting each other. We're very important cogs in the wheel, pieces in the puzzle. And once we understand that we are so interconnected and we are supporting each other, even when we don't know about it or are not aware of it. So another practice with the body work and the mindfulness is this whole concept of a single moment and a single activity. And this throws multitasking out the window, but you can still multitask. You just have to do it in time slices. But what you're doing is this is about being in the present moment again, paying attention to what you're doing right now. So if you're washing the dishes, you pay attention to what you're doing. You get the food off the dish, and you feel the warm water, and you rinse them off, and you can tell when you've got them all clean. You're kind of paying attention to what you're doing. And the same applies to whatever you're doing. You're driving the car. Of course, a lot of times when we're driving the car, we're talking on the cell phone, or we're listening to the radio, or listening to a book on tape or something. So, we're always constantly, just in our society, we're constantly doing more than one thing at a time. So if you think about it, it scatters our attention. So it's like when you're driving the car and listening to a book on tape, you can't fully engage in the story and the audio book, and you're not fully engaged in driving, although driving is, for most of us, has become an automatic response. So there's a whole nother system in our brain that's working, that's scanning and knowing what's going on. But if for some reason our consciousness actually wavers too far away from this automatic response, then we can get into trouble. So there's this whole concept of paying attention to what you're doing right now and noticing what you're noticing. And there's no hurry, and there's no pause. There's the right timing. It's like moving ahead gracefully, not rushing, and not, staying stuck in one place and waiting and waiting and waiting. It's like it's always a gentle movement process, and there's no force. And think about in our lives, how many times have we moved ahead and gotten an idea that we're just going to get something done, and we get behind it, and we push and we push and we push, and we go too fast, and we scatter ourselves, and we forget that this is all a big dance, a big balance between us and the energies of the universe and the energies of the earth and the energies of all the people around us. This is all a big dance. So talking a little bit more about how to apply these principles of basically being in the present moment, of mindfulness. When you're in a situation, let's say, for example, you finally have carved out a little bit of time for you to go do something fun for yourself. It's an hour or two, and you've been anticipating this, for the last few days. You're going to go get a massage, or you're going to go hiking with a friend, or you're going to, go to this really nice restaurant, or whatever it is that makes you excited, that you're really looking forward to. And just as you're getting ready to leave or preparing for it, your partner or a friend or your employee or someone comes up and says, "I need help right now. Can you help me right now?" So, okay, you have a situation. What are you going to do? So, if you're being mindful, you'll feel things in your body immediately. Your stomach will grip and your muscles will get tight, and you'll have little thoughts in your mind that say, "Oh, why couldn't you do this tomorrow?" Or, "Why can't you just leave me alone? I'm getting ready to go, have fun." So, there's all these thoughts that are going on, and they create a visceral response. So when you're practicing mindfulness, what you do is you kind of like stop, hit the pause button, and stop and take a look and say, "Okay, what's my body feeling?" Okay, my stomach is upset, it's tight, it clamped up, my shoulders got tight, my jaw got tight, I'm irritated at this guy for interrupting me, or could be a woman too. So you notice what you're feeling in your body, because your body is your best It's your best guidance tool. It's your best messenger, and it won't lie to you. So once you understand what's going on, you can take a look at, what are the thoughts you're thinking. It's like, are you really, upset at this person for interrupting what you had planned, what you dreamed about doing? And, what kind of thoughts are going through your mind? Are you feeling a little resentful and angry and, feeling obligated? So before your mouth says yes, stop and think. Is this what I want? What am I feeling? Are you feeling angst and anger and frustration? And, so notice these things. And then is that pause, is that space between the incident and the reaction or action that you take, or your response. It's that space where you can pause and say, okay, what do I want to do, or what do I want to say? And this leads us right into the next segment that I want to talk about, which is assertiveness. So see you in the next video.